A very good morning to all of you and very warm welcome on my channel. Today we are going to explain Indian Express newspaper of 8th of October, and for the UPSC preparation the relevance of article we are going to choose accordingly, okay, accordingly the exam preparation. So first article is at war says Israel after worst Hamas attack in years, 300 killed and counting. So basically, before learning what we are going to talk about the Israel and these Palestine issues and who are MS, because this news is very less in information about to tell us what the real outcome we need from this article, right? Because we are preparing here for UPSC, and for preparing here is UPSC, and to understand situation according to them, what this article can do for us, this can help us to build international relation. This is important for IR, that is in paper 2. Yes, GS paper 2, and we have not much relevance of this article for the prelims specific, but we this is very important for the IR. And on that behalf, we, okay, from the headline we understand that, okay, Israel, there was an attack done by, firstly by the Hamas attack, and after that Israel also attacked to the other opponent. But who is this Hamas and who are these people who are attacking to the Israel? So to understand this matter in the great details, I have occupied some these articles and some these images for our better understanding. So now, what basically Israel, this is the part where Israel formed. This is a part. There was a very outcome. We also know that Israel is not accepted by many of the nations, in including India also does not support that Israel. um, Before some times, and yes, UN has accepted Israel as a country, and UN even given the partition plan for the UN, because this portion, this Palestine area here, you can see this portion was basically Muslim dominant area, okay. And after this World War II, and this Hitler said that, okay, we are only for the pure race, we are only here for the pure race. Many Jewish state came and settled here from Germany, and after that this area became an area of conflict, because many dominated Muslim community do not want them to enter here and do not want to stay them here. Still they are staying, and when they are still in this Palestine area, this was known as Palestine, and they were staying, they started to demand a nation. They started to demand for a nation. They wanted a statehood for themselves. And what is state in the international relations? State is a part of territory. Let me explain this also. What is a state? What do you mean understand by the state? So here state is not only the state or provinces, like in India we use the state for the provinces, but in international relations state is not a province. State is a basically component of 3 to 4 things. First, it should be have a territory, so it should have a territory of its own. Second, it's of course need population, otherwise who is going to reside there. Number 3, it should have government, the most important thing for a state. Even India is a state, or we refer mostly to the nations as a state. Nation and state is a different concept, very different concept, and I'll explain what is nation also. And the fourth point, the most important point in the history or while making a state, is a sovereignty. Sovereignty, this is the most important point of when we are going to ask for a state. Even Kashmir is asking for a status of statehood or a nation different. Then what is the why they are asking? If one can ask that Kashmir itself is a state, why they are asking for the status of a different statehood? Because they already accepted India as a nation, and they accepted themselves as a part of India. But if they want to call in the state in the international relation, then they needs to be very much sovereign, but they are not sovereign, because India is a, yes, India is a nation. And what is our character of India? India is a federal nation. That means center has its power and states have its own, not different power, but center has two distinction functions. State have their own distinction function, but we also have some common function. That means that can be done by either center or state. So India has a federal nature, and what is a nation? So if we talk about, we have already understand what is the state, what is a nation. If we are talking about in international relation sense, the nation is a component which complete the state, which have some homogeneity into itself, into the state, which makes them as a nation. What can be example of the nations like homogeneity? What is the homogeneity? Homogeneity means you must have understood some kind of sameness. Either it can be language sameness, or either can be religion. Like Pakistan. Pakistan is a nation, but how it is the nation? Because it has Islam or Muslim as a religion. So religion, it's a component for its nation. But what is India's? What is India? India as a country. Why India is a nation? If somebody asks us why India is a nation, because India is a very important component, because we do not share the common language. We have even 18 languages in our constitution, 8 schedule. So we do not share the common language. We do not have the common we do not have any state religion, right? We are not, neither our state is Hindu, neither our state is, we are a secular state. So when we are talking about India, who is the secular state, do not share the same language, because English and Hindi is the official, other we have other languages of the state. So what makes India is a nation is its constitution. And what is the source of constitution power? That's a very important question. Of course, preamble, we the people. We the people. So we the people, who called our state as a nation, are the source of constitution. And constitution which we share equally, all the people of the country. For the people, constitution is the homogeneous for the sameness for us, and that is why India is a nation. So they are correlated to each other. Now come to the main part. So when Israel, these Jewish people were asking for their different nationhood, or sorry, different statehood, because they are, and even nationhood also, because they are same, sharing the same race. So when they are asking, this was a conflict going on, UN came into the picture here, and they given the partition plan in the 1947. Even we also Indian have this partition plan in the 1947, 1946 actually. And they said that the portion dominated by this Muslim or Arab states would be known as, this is the West Bank. Let me change the color. This is the West Bank known as, and this is the Gaza Strip. This would be the Arab dominated, that's why Muslim dominated, that's why they will be known as Muslim dominated country. And this remaining part is known as Israel, or maybe Jewish state. So but the issue now, what is coming here, is that when Israel got its own statehood status, then it started to occupy the partition plain of Arab, these territories also. Have a see. So in 1947 it was this, but Israel started to occupy this. He snatched the Gaza Strip area. He also snatched this Palestine area. He Now in the present situation, it's look very shattered in this condition. Have a look to this. So this is the reason, that is why the government of these people, this Hamas, actually Hamas is a government in the Palestine area and Gaza Strip area. This is one of the political party. Like India, we have two political main central party, is either BJP or the Congress, and Congress is also now in EU allies with a known as INDIA. So this is the kind of that part, that this Hamas is also a political party in the Palestine area, and they are demanding that why Israeli is confiscating our territory when UN has already given the partition plan, when we already have our territory. Why Israel is coming into our territory and making our sovereignty in the question in the international politics. So the latest chapter in the long history of conflict in the region, Zionism, this is a kind of ethno-nationalist movement hua tha by this Jewish people. 19th century it was started by the Jewish people, and then the Jewish people kind of grew a nation significantly after the World War II. And Now, who are the Hamids? We already talked. It's a political party. It's established itself in the 1947, 1946 actually, and this partition plan was given in the 1947. But it's after the starting of the 2 years only they started a war, and after that war they have given a accord. This was the accord. This was the picture while they were, this is the Jewish prime minister, and they are from Palestine area, and he is the mediators of both. And this accord was known as uh, Hamas lone side bombing. This is to break this accord, and this accord was known as Oslo Peace Accords. Oslo Peace Accords. It was signed in the early 1990s between Israel and PLO. PLO means Palestine Liberalization Organization. It was a body representing most Palestinians in the area, and to accord this Hamas people started to fight against them because they think that Jewish had acquired their territory even more than they were said to have. But this started the infidas in this Palestine area. This is the West Bank I was talking. If we need to see this clearly, this is the Gaza Strip right now. This is the present map. This is Israel going here, and this is West Bank. Both here is the Arabic country, or the Muslim people are residing here, even eventually here also. And this is the Jewish territory. Okay, for UPSC prelim, this is a Dead Sea. Why it is called Dead Sea? Because it's dead, because it is not in the same proportion it was used to be sometime earlier. It is dying, it is getting smaller with time. And this is Lake Tiberias. This is between Lebanon, and here it is started Arabia, here it is West Bank, Jordan. Okay, so resistance in the Hamas began in the resistance. He started this. They started in the eventually 87 first Intifada means uprising. This started in the uprising in the 1987 only. After that, it was in 2005 to 2000 to 2005 that the second Intifada, that means the continuous war or continuous resistance between the two countries was ongoing. Third is the might stand in the start. It is some of the people right now saying that it can start in 2023, as we eventually see from the heading that how people killed almost 300 people from the both of the side. And Israel is also has attacked to the Gaza Strip. We see where is the Gaza Strip, and people are scared of the bombarding. It's the operation called by the Hamas is known as Operation Al Aqsa Storm, because this was some 2015 actually. It was in 2015 when Israel attacked the this Al Aqsa mosque in Jerusalem, where most of the Palestine people, very at least 50 to 56 people died in that war. And that is why this operation is called upon the name of that mosque, Operation Al Aqsa Storm. So I hope it would be some kind of insight and you can understand what I'm trying to tell right now. Let's move forward. This is the second article. This is very relevant for us because of the science and tech perspective. This science and tech questions came into the pre also, as well as GS paper 3 of the mains. And first is boosting self-reliance, first for C295 deal. Now what is this C295 deal? Is actually it's a military, we can say this aircraft, and it actually was very first time when it is going to manufactured by outside of the Europe, in the India. Eventually it is the first time India is manufacturing this aircraft in the Bengaluru. And they are actually not manufacturing, but they are assimilating the parts of this from outside of the Europe. And this is the biggest deal for us right now. This will come eventually in the 2024. So of course it is a question for pre 2024. And if we see the perspective of the means, then this the rise of aircraft manufacturing assembly capability by private players will not breed healthy competition, but also gradually enhance capacity for capturing and executing international orders in India beyond domestic orders from Indian, because it will help for us for the Atmanirbhar and make in India Atmanirbhar Bharat also, and who is going to start this deal with the, because it's a kind of deal which is done in the by the private player. Who is the private player who is going to engage with it with the government? It is the Tata Advanced System Limited. This is a TUSHL, the TUSHL, Tata Advanced System Limited. This is known as, this is a company by the Tata who is going to engage in this deal and going to manufacture this. The second article for, because this, that was the only need we need to know. That is why I'm going to the moving further to the next article. This is HAL delivers HAL, actually first LCA Tejas trainer to IAF. This is a light, this IAF and LCA light combat aircraft. See this aircraft and this aircraft. This is seem like a uh, big ambiguous aircraft, and see this is a kind of a short or lighter version of, we can even differentiate while we are looking to the two pictures, right? So this is actually Hindustan Aeronautical Limited Hall actually handed first trainer version of the twin seater. That means, what is the meaning of the twin seater? Twin seater, of course, two seater. If we say in the two seater, that will be not wrong. This is two seater, and this is actually for the 70 to 90 troops. We can eventually see the difference. What is the difference between the two? This is C295 deal, and this is known as LCA Tejas. So what is the difference between? This is a two-seater very light aircraft, and this is a very heavy, because this can include the troop of 70 to 90 people, even include their baggage, luggage and everything. So how it will be important for Air Force? For our Air Force, it will be used for the transportation, and very easy to take the most of the people into one aircraft and go to the far heavy areas with the speed. Eventually it's a very speedy aircraft. Now the second is the twin seater. It is a very speedy. Why we need the twin seater? Because it will be eventually used for the difficult terrain. It can be lighted, so it can go very down, and it can very speedily go to the up again. So it is kind of a we can say the bigger version of the drones, because drones have not people and it will going to have people, but it will work like that, because you cannot do some very heavy thing. You cannot move a truck very speedily to 120 speed and doesn't get affected to the others and go to the heaviest train. If you are residing to a mountain, that means if you are driving over a mountain with a truck, you cannot, the speed will be only eventually 20 to 30, right, per hour. So it is not going to affect. And the second thing is that this is, we are going to use for the difficult terrain, and this is a multi-role 4.5 generation aircraft designed to meet the training requirement of the AIF. It will help us, because it is the achievement in the Atmanirbhar Bharat also, because who is making this? Hindustan Aeronautical Limited. Yes. So let's move forward, and we see that's actually not a very important article for us, but it is important for us for the perspective of the prelims. So now SMPP is Asia's sole bulletproof manufacturer. This is a SMPP a private limited who has made bulletproof manufacturing. It's a Indian. Its CEO is also an Indian, whose name is Ashish Konsal, who has graduated from the IIT Delhi, and he is currently doing his double masters from the US in the engineering itself. They are not making only bulletproof helicopters, they are also making bulletproof jackets and cars for the Indian Army. And now what is the important, because this is the manufacturing has used boron carbide, the world lightest and toughest metal for the bulletproof applications, because bullets should not go enter, and when you are wearing a bulletproof jacket or something, that is a very heavy thing on your body. But the only thing is this, that they are using boron carbide. So if some question is asked in the prelims, what is the material used for the not this kind of, but assume a statement is given that boron carbide is also used in the bulletproofing. So it's a point 3. We can easily understand. So we need to just understand, we need to know this, that boron carbide ceramic is a solution which makes the world lightest. Okay, this makes the world lightest and toughest metal. This was the complete. Now we move forward. Actually, it's a Sunday newspaper, so not very important opinion or not very important even editorial page is not given today. So we have to little much see ourselves and satisfy ourselves, because this is not going to be very important articles now forward. But this is gearing up for the battle. This is written by the PC Chidambaram opinion page, and not much about it. It's just saying about the rivalry firepower, that how INDIA, that means the alliance of the Congress and these different parties who are working toward the caste. This is the battle. This caste census is actually uh, taken by them, and they are now started to saying we are OBC supporters and all. We already see how this OBC caste survey and this caste thing is ongoing. First started by the Bihar, and now they also started in the Kolkata and Odisha. So sorry, Karnataka and Odisha. Karnataka right now has this Congress, and they are not giving the results right now, but Odisha is doing it. And so this whole change, the kind of rivalry they are talking about, because we have election in next year. This is what the many Gandhi statues tell us about in India. Again, in 1939, the freedom struggle, a group of Bombay to put statue of the Mahatma Gandhi. This was the first, and Ram Sutra was a man who is currently 98 year, and he was the man who make the first time the Gandhi's sculpture of the bronze into 4 feet structure. It was firstly supposed that this should be, plant this statue of the Gandhi. It is right now in the this not this but also a statue of Gandhi right now in the parliament also. That was made firstly by the even Ram Sutar Singh, who is currently 98 years old. It was stated that this should be implanted in the canopy of the this India Gate, where the you know previous statue, right now there is Subhash Chandra statue is given there, and previously there was this George V, the king of the Britain statue was implemented there. But then there was some revolt, and people started resisting that no, this was made for king and we are not going to set Gandhi's is there. So even last, consequently, at the last, the statue of the Gandhiji was put in the parliament. Not very much actually importance. Earlier, this was only Gandhiji statues in the India ongoing, but right now it is also we can see that the many other leaders also gain some momentum. Like even when the author of this article went to the um, here workplace of this man who makes statues, they are indulged in right now the statues of Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj, Ambedkar, Nanda Prabhu, Kempe Gowda, and Lord Shiva also. So this was the, let's move forward. The world again, Israel Palestine at war again. We already see this all articles kind of crux at the above. Let's just see this. This is the map again. Here is the Mediterranean Sea, here is the Israel, this is the Gaza Strip, known as Gaza Strip. This is Jikham. The Israelis, these people came while the borders. Actually, they given some airstrike on the. They did some airstrike from here, and almost they are saying that we left 5,000 rockets, but Israel is saying no, it was only 200, 500, 2,500 only. But then some people came into these areas, and from the border areas, these Hamas people came into Israel from these border areas, and started to make this, people of here. Actually, they did not came from here. Actually, these people or militants groups came here, and they looted this town of the Sderot town of the Israel. They looted this. They made some kidnap. They made some people killed. They injured people, and now the response, Israel also airstriked in the Gaza. This was the whole matter. It was done in the morning. It was sudden a surprise, because as the very started how the Hamas attack on Israel, it was the very morning at the 6:30, and 5,000 rockets in the first, whereas Israel military said no, it's a 2,500 rockets down in front. infiltrations, that means in the evening time or the very morning time, 7:40, the Palestine gunsmen crossed into the Israel branches into land security barrier. The last article is nothing. Inflation likely to ease below 4% target in the next fiscal, says RBI. RBI said that okay, we are now inflation in the control, and even in the next fiscal year, we are going to ease it into the 4% area, which is very determined area of the RBI, plus minus 2 4. That means either it should be 2% inflation or it should go to the 4%, but never more than 6%. And if 4 is there, that means, or 4% is there, that means it's a very favorable condition for the growth and development, GDP. So this was all about for the today's newspaper, and thank you for being here. If you